Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Al Jazeera reports that on day 104 of the conflict, Iran has completely closed the strategic Strait of Hormuz and launched retaliatory missile and drone strikes against U.S. military bases in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan. This dramatic escalation follows a series of self-defense airstrikes carried out by the U.S. military's Central Command inside Iranian territory. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed the strikes on key Iranian facilities, stating they were ordered by President Donald Trump to secure a permanent ceasefire. Trump detailed that the U.S. fired 49 Tomahawk missiles at targets inside Iran, warning of further bombardments if Tehran rejects U.S. negotiation terms. Analysts suggest Washington is using heavy bombardment as a coercive diplomatic tool to force Iran back to the negotiating table. In response to the hostilities, Kuwait has temporarily closed its airspace, and the U.S. State Department has urged citizens in Jordan to seek immediate shelter. Meanwhile, Israel continues its military operations in Lebanon despite a U.S.-brokered ceasefire, with a recent strike in Sidon killing 2 people. According to a report by the Epoch Times, the United Kingdom is set to implement a new law in July to combat national security threats posed by hostile states such as Iran, Russia, and China. The British government announced on June 9, 2026, that this legislation aims to close existing legal loopholes by penalizing unregistered foreign agents operating within the country. Under the new law, acting as an undeclared agent or accepting funding and support from foreign entities to conduct covert operations will be deemed illegal, carrying a maximum sentence of 14 years in prison. Hostile regimes have reportedly deployed agents to carry out surveillance, intimidation, and transnational repression against dissidents and specific religious or ethnic groups in the UK. This includes recent attacks against Falun Gong practitioners in London, which have been linked to Chinese state interference. Prime Minister Keir Starmer emphasized that the UK will not tolerate hostile states hiring criminals to subvert its democracy. Additionally, intelligence services like MI5 have noted a sharp rise in state-sponsored threats, highlighting the urgency of this legislative move. According to Kyodo News, Japan and Britain are considering a new framework to promote collaboration on offshore wind power generation. Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer are expected to exchange a memorandum on energy during their upcoming meeting in London. The cooperation will also cover next-generation nuclear power plants and nuclear fusion technology. In light of heightened Middle East tensions, resource-poor Japan seeks to diversify its energy resources. The 2 leaders are also arranging a joint statement on economic security, expressing concerns over economic coercion, such as export controls on critical minerals. Furthermore, they plan to discuss strengthening bilateral partnerships in semiconductors, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and the defense industry, including a trilateral fighter jet project with Italy. According to Al Jazeera, FIFA President Gianni Infantino has defended the United States as a co-host of the 2026 World Cup, following criticism over visa denials and entry issues for tournament participants. Speaking in Mexico City on the eve of the tournament, Infantino emphasized that FIFA is a sports organization, not kings of the world who can override government policies or police decisions. The defense comes after a Somali referee, Omar Arden, was denied entry into the United States despite holding a valid visa, leading FIFA to remove him from the tournament's roster. U.S. President Donald Trump commented that his administration is working to ensure the right people enter the country. Infantino urged calm, stating that shouting over visa disputes often hinders solutions. Despite a tense geopolitical climate marked by the U.S.-Israel conflict with Iran, Iranian players eventually received visas to train and play in Los Angeles. Infantino reiterated that FIFA has no regrets about selecting the United States as a host nation and continues to work quietly behind the scenes to resolve complex entry issues. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.